because Kenyans like to speculate. We've decided that Matiangi is suddenly Kalonzo's competition. You need to do math for how many Kalonzo votes exist and do math for how many Matiangi votes exist.
Real votes.
Yes.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now ladies and gentlemen, there is a tweet that was made by Makau Mutua, and I want us to look at it. Makau Mutua alleges that the opposition leaders that met in or at Wamunyoro last weekend will disperse at some point in 4 different directions. So what he means here is that at some point all these guys will go separate directions because they have political ambitions, and their political ambition is to clinch the presidency. And most of them have been made to believe that they can win against President William Ruto. But what I've always said here is that the opposition can only win against President William Ruto if they are united and front one opposition leader against President William Ruto in 2027. So the question that I would want to ask here is, do you think that if the opposition decide to support Matiangi in 2027, will Kalonzo decide to support him? Will Kalonzo support Matiangi in 2027? And what are the issues that might make Kalonzo walk out of that coalition ahead of 2027 and vie for the presidency?
You need to do math for how many Kalonzo votes exist and do math for how many Matiangi votes exist.
Real votes.
Yes, because this country is notorious for disappointing people who run for the first time. Let's be very clear. Ask Wajakoya, ask Peter Kenneth,
Ask Kalonzo Musyoka,
ask Kalonzo Musyoka, ask Mudavadi.
Why is he?
If you look at all of those guys, the one who succeeded most was Kalonzo in 2007. Mudavadi was number 2, 300,000. My friend Martha Karua and Peter Kenneth, 40,000.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've listened to what Bichachi has said there, he's raising critical issues that I want us to look at. One is the fact that Kalonzo Musyoka comes into this coalition with the belief that, having been the deputy president for President Mwai Kibaki, having deputized Raila twice while they were vying for the presidency, and being age-wise being the senior-most leader in that coalition, he deserves being given the priority or being elected to serve or to vie against President William Ruto in 2027. So another issue that also comes into mind is the fact that Kalonzo Musyoka comes with a solid block of votes from Ukambani, and they are close to 2.5 to 3 million votes. That is from a starting point. Because if you look at Martha Karua might not have, okay, we have Central Kenya, that is a solid block that if they decide to support someone, they'll give them over 5 million votes or 4 point something million votes. But does Martha Karua really have those votes in her basket? We also have Rigiji. Rigiji, on the other hand, also, he might be a kingmaker in 2027. But does he really have the backing of the whole mountain behind him? If we go to Matiangi as well, Matiangi has over 1 point something, let's say 2 million votes, 1.5 to 2 million votes from Kisii land. So, if, let's say, take for example, they decide to go for Matiangi, what will Kalonzo really support him, considering the fact that he is the most experienced leader within that coalition? Then secondly, The fact that he's coming on the table, he's bringing on the table a whole over 2.5 million votes. And then there is also the other factor that Rigiji has been supporting Kalonzo. They've been going around the country. They've been going around Mount Kenya region. And he knows very well that Rigiji is pro his presidency. So if Rigiji decides to transfer those votes to Matiangi, will he not see this as betrayal? Because another factor that we also need to look at here is that President William Ruto has cheapened what we call the deputy president position. Why am I saying so? It's because, you know, after Rigiji was sent packing, initially Kenyans knew that the DP's position was kind of entrenched in the constitution, and someone could not be sent packing. If he were to go packing, then both the presidency and the deputy president were to go home. But after Rigiji was sent home, after he was impeached, then it became very obvious that it's not guaranteed that if you are the deputy president, then you will stick with the president throughout his reign. So whoever will accept to go for the deputy president position might not be guaranteed to serve the whole term. So this also weakens Kalonzo's resolve, because what if Matiangi becomes the president and impeaches him? What is it that can give him that kind of assurance that he will be the deputy president throughout? And the other issue that also affects that coalition, that might affect it, is the fact that if you look at political agreements and pacts that have been made in Kenya over the years, there is a sense of betrayal that comes when someone clinches the presidency. Start with the founding president, that is Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo Kenyatta shortchanged Oginga Odinga. Then came Moi. After Moi came Mwai Kibaki. After the Rainbow Coalition, Mwai Kibaki shortchanged Raila Odinga as well, and the LDP brigade. Then came Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta also had a disagreement with William Ruto in his second term. William Ruto as well shortchanged Rigathi Gachagua. So whoever will be making a pre-election kind of agreement ahead of 2027 will somehow not feel very confident going into that election, because when someone has already claimed the presidency, he can do away with you. So there is no solid assurance or insurance for these political leaders that they will stick together after winning the presidency. All these put together will give Kalonzo a reason not to back Matiangi ahead of 2027. Kalonzo might go it alone in 2027, solidify his backyard, because he knows that if he vies and solidify his backyard, he will get a good number of MPs, and then use that to bargain or reach a post-election kind of agreement with whoever will be the president then. That gives him bargaining power and opportunity to also be part of that government. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Do you think Kalonzo Musyoka will support Matiangi in 2027? You can give us your view by commenting on the video down below. That is it from us today. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye bye.